So last time on Dragon Ball Super, Ultra Vegito's actions had given birth to God of Destruction Goku, after the death of all the Z fighters at the hands of an Ultra Cell. And after a crazy confrontation, battling in a Super Saiyan 2 form, the two finally jumped to using their Ultra Instinct, and now, in today's manga, we see the conclusion of their fated battle to change this timeline forever. But before we continue, today's video is sponsored by Dislight, the stylish urban mythological RPG set in future cities with striking visuals, exuberant beats, superheroic characters, and the most badass gods ever. So I better not tell Ultra Vegito about them. This game is available on both the Google Play Store and Apple Store, and has some of the most stylish graphics out there, with a unique pop fantasy art style and high quality 3D animations inspired by American comic book culture. Just have a look at these awesome looking angels. Have you ever seen Whis looking this good? Jump in now and experience not only a stunning audiovisual experience, but an epic gameplay experience too, with the classic turn-based combat that allows for some truly in-depth tactical battle using a 5-hero team. So what are you waiting for? Use promo code JOINDISLIGHT and click the link in the description to download for free. I'll see you there. So our story continues with Ultra Cell and Ultra Instinct Goku finally in their strongest forms now, as they stare down one another only inches apart. One remains completely stern and serious, while the other, just like in the original Z timeline, stands confidently, looking down with a smile. As we get a closer look though, in at each of their individual faces, we see the serious and angered scowl of God of Destruction Goku, as he lets out coldly, "Cell, I've waited 14 years for this moment, and I'll make things right today. This ends here!" To which a smirking Cell can only respond, "Oh, Son Goku, 14 years? It seems you really have lost your mind. I must have given you a concussion with that last attack. Never mind though, as long as you can fight, that's all that matters. This indeed will end here, and afterwards, you too will become part of greatness, just like Gohan. I told you to keep my son's name out of your mouth. Now I'm going to make this hurt, Cell. Enough with your overconfident Son Goku. You may be stronger than what the data shows you to be, but you're still nothing to me. I am the ultimate being. And with that said, the two then resort to their fighting positions, fully powered up and now both coated in the divine aura of mastered Ultra Instincts. Ready, Son Goku? More than I'll ever be. And instantly, with nothing left to say, as if in perfect attunement with another, Goku and Cell in a flash reach each other's faces, with fists cocked and ready. Immediately making contact with each other's fists in perfect synchronicity. And ultimately, the result as expected is cataclysmic, causing what looks like a sphere of pure energy to ripple from their collision, destroying the very ground beneath. For miles and miles beyond, shockwaves would travel, devastating whatever was left of West City. But luckily, with Goku knowing everyone had already been absorbed by Cell, he had nothing to worry about. Eventually, the two would separate, with Goku jumping far into the air, while a close by Cell mirrors him yelling, "You've improved, Son Goku. You're actually making me try a little. But how about we skip the warm-up and get to business?" Cell! Goku! As immediately, Goku obliges and rushes in with a roar as Ultra Cell does the same. But almost as expected from a battle of two Ultra Instinct users, Goku's initial flurry of kicks are dodged one after the other by a Cell who leaves after images of himself. You call this speed, Son Goku? You feel even slower than before. But as Cell claps back, clawing for Goku's face, a classic emotionless Ultra Instinct Goku dodges right back, commenting, "We're evenly matched. I wonder what will turn the tables." And having said that, again, Goku's next attack too is easily read and dodged by the Divine Cell. Cell, taking in Goku's comments though, thinks to himself, he's right. In this state, generic hand-to-hand combat will result in nothing. Before a cunning smile suddenly encroaches on Cell's face as he says, "But let's see how he handles some more advanced techniques. I'm sure Yamcha won't mind me using this." Huh? Yamcha? Leaving Goku puzzled at the sudden mention of his old friend and fellow Z-Fighter. More Fang Fist! As suddenly and surprisingly, Cell reveals Yamcha's signature attack, rushing in at the Saiyan with the ferocity of a rabid beast. This time, with the speed and unusual movement of the attack, Goku this time is forced to defend, as he thinks, "In a while since I saw that move, why does Cell use it even better than Yamcha?" And feeling pressured, Goku then suddenly vanishes to gain some distance, as Cell, still in his Wolf Fang stance, taunts him. "Haha, what's wrong, Son Goku? Not equipped to handle the power of your friend? You know, Yamcha's abilities aren't too bad when in the hands of a god." But Goku, looking on disapprovingly, stares down Cell and replies, "I've met gods, and you're nothing like them, Cell. You're not even worth using Yamcha's moves. All you are is a cheap copy, and that's all you'll ever be." Oh, that one actually hurt my feelings, Son Goku. Fine. If I'm not worthy of Yamcha's moves, then how about I try someone else? And with that, Cell then places 2 fingers on his forehead in a familiar fashion as he continues, "Someone I could call almost a brother, and according to my data, more of a father to little old Gohan than you ever were. Tell me how this one compares." That's... Leaving Goku in a state of shock as he begins to recognize yet another move. As Cell then begins roaring in a low tone, concentrating a vast amount of energy straight to his fingertips until... Special Beam Cannon! Instantly, with 1/10 the load time of the Namekian, firing off Piccolo's signature and most powerful move with ease, as fast as a bullet, the overpowered beam then rushes through the air, as deadly as ever, and now amplified by a strange electricity. Even Piccolo's moves! This one moves so much faster than his though! This is bad. I don't want to end up like Raditz again. Why you? As immediately, Goku then appears behind the bio-android and yells out, "You may have my friend's power, but your aim is nothing like his." Instantly angering the cocky and narcissistic Cell, who grumbles back, "Son Goku, how dare you talk like that to her? God!" Immediately spinning around with a right hook that catches Goku completely off guard with its speed, power, and ferociousness, sending the God of Destruction flying almost as fast as the Special Beam Cannon, straight into a nearby rocky face for a devastating crash. It's not long after though that a damaged and bruised Goku then just barely lifts his torso from the ground, and with just one eye open looks up saying, maybe he does hit harder than Beerus after all. He's so much stronger than we thought. He seems to just be getting stronger. Wait a minute, where is he? What little did Goku know, with his obscured vision, Ultra Cell was actually high up in the sky and curiously placing his hands in a familiar position. And suddenly, from Cell's own sight, we see within a triangular formation, Son Goku has been zoomed in on like a sniper setting his sights. What? No way! Is that Tien's? Tri-beam cannon! As yet again, Ultra Cell makes perfect use of one of the slain Z-Fighters' techniques, this time using none other than Tien Shinhan's Tri-beam, which so ironically was used against the main timeline Cell in identical fashion. And just like that, the incredible move made famous by the Triclops rains down in an instant with unbelievable force. In its wake, leaving a perfect square burial site imprinted into the earth, now scorched and smoking from the heat of the blast. Nothing seems to stir until Goku once again reappears, this time even more damaged and holding onto his arm, levitating slowly up the air, until with a soft thud he lands finally on the ground above. His chest, now scratched up, also reveals now even his God of Destruction garb has been destroyed and ripped off in the process, and left staring at the ground, seemingly beaten, is a base Goku, who can only think to himself, it's no use. He's way too strong now. I can't do this. He's the best parts of all of us, even me. Just what am I supposed to do, guys? As a completely alone Goku seemingly begins to mentally try to talk to his deceased friends, as if slowly losing his own mind. But meanwhile, with no fear in his heart, Cell just confidently lands near the defeated Saiyan, and asks with a smile, "What gives, Son Goku? Don't tell me you're giving up already. This was just getting fun. Hurry up, transform for me again. Make your hair longer, or change its color. Whatever you foolish Saiyans like." But Goku just continues to look forlorn in silence, not uttering a word in reply to the battle-ready android who'd literally been born for this one moment and battle with Goku. What are you doing? Was that truly your limit? This is the Son Goku I became perfect for? Pathetic. Fine. If a coward's death is what you desire, then so be it. Die by one of your enemy's moves this time. As immediately, in a fit of rage, Cell fires off nonchalantly a death beam straight out of the repertoire of Frieza, the same move that had ended the lives of so many in the past. And instantly, just like that, the beam shockingly hits Goku's face head on, seemingly blasting a hole right through his forehead as his skull snaps back violently. Cell, meanwhile, being the cold-hearted machine that he is, just instantly laughs at his kill, chuckling, "What a shot! Father truly built perfection in me. I never miss. The same cannot be said for you though, Son Goku. What a complete disappointment you ended up. Like father, like son, I guess." But curiously, as Cell celebrates, a strange grumbling can be heard by the Goku, who inexplicably remains standing, as the air surrounding also begins to thicken. Now what were you saying about my son, Cell? As unbelievably, Goku immediately brings his face back into the picture, only to reveal himself now in the Ultra Ego form. UE Goku has finally been born. What? What is the meaning of this? Why isn't this in my data? Leaving Ultra Cell nothing short of shocked, as for some reason, though his cells gave him the knowledge of Ultra Instinct, for Ultra Ego, nothing seems to come out. But seeing his opportunity, and with the increased speed gained by UE, Goku closes the gap to be face to face with the android, commenting in his face, "Keep your guard up, Cell." Leaving Cell nothing short of paralyzed in fear as he wonders internally. He's fast. Much faster than before. What technique is he using? And Goku, knowing that Cell is completely bewildered, just stares into his eyes and explains, "You're pretty helpless when you can't copy what your opponents are doing, aren't you, Cell? Well, unfortunately, though you're able to copy every technique we know, I had a feeling this one would draw a blank. After all, this isn't a technique, but more a transformation. A form with special abilities that are unique to a Saiyan. And just like you can't actually become a Super Saiyan, you will never be able to do this either. Looks like you're not as perfect as you think, Cell." What did you say? But as soon as Cell hears this, a ferocious grimace appears across his face in reaction, as he yells back, "I couldn't care less about your stupid forms! You Saiyans can change your hair as much as you want! Black, blonde or purple, it makes no difference to perfection!" And just like that, backing up his claims, almost immediately, Ultra Cell lands a straight punch right on Goku's face, sending him flying backwards. "I'm ending this game now, Goku," as Cell, not wanting to let up, then vanishes quickly, only to reappear once again right behind the still mid-flight Goku, with his right arm already lifted in the air, ready for one thing. Meanwhile, Ultra Ego Goku remains with his eyes closed and blood splattering out of his mouth, clearly already in pain until... Tell me I'm not perfect after this, Son Goku! As immediately, Cell lands a devastating elbow right on the spine of Goku, leading to the transformed Saiyan to scream in terror with such a pitch, paint could be stripped from the walls. And in the immediate aftermath, Ultra Ego Goku is sent hurtling down towards the ground with a lifeless body as if already dead. My, I must say, after your little speech about having this new mystery form, I was a little worried. But this is child's play. Be gone! As Cell finally ends his beatdown by kicking Goku like a mere football, straight into the doors of a nearby commercial building, landing inside with a crash. But Cell, though pleased with himself, knows that Goku is still not finished, and comments, "Oh, Son Goku, I'll give it to you. You're a durable one. This new form seems to be good at taking a beating, but not so much at anything else. How do you expect to defeat me by not attacking? get serious and go back to your white-haired form. At least that was a little fun for me. But Goku, though still intact, as Cell predicted, is unwavered by the taunts, appearing first as a rising silhouette within the dark building interior, before slowly, step by step, walking out onto the field to face the android, and with his head slightly bowed, with a cold and unreadable expression, he slowly raises his head in silence. Until finally looking into the sky with an unusual smile despite his predicament, thinking to himself, perfect. That hurt like hell. But just like I trained with Beerus, the more of a beating I get in Ultra Ego, the stronger I get. I'm still not sure if I have enough in me to breach the gap between me and Cell, but there's only one way to find out. As Goku then immediately places his hands together, angling his body as he summons a powerful ball of energy, yelling, What is he doing? This chain of events, however, confuses Cell as he wonders, now what? After taking that horrendous beating, he surely doesn't think he wins with a beam struggle with the likes of me? Has he seen the state of himself? So be it. As Cell, just as expected, then places his own hands together, opting to now copy Goku's signature move as if to add further salt to the wound, before yelling out in tandem, both suddenly and in perfect timing, blasting powerful Kamehameha waves straight at each other, in a shootout that can only be described as familiar, as the land itself begins to part like the waves of an ocean. And eventually the two beams meet and create a truly stupendous beam struggle. In the middle, a perfect sphere, split in half by both sides of their energies, each perfectly at the same power level, it seems. At least for now. How unexpected, Son Goku! You actually appear to be keeping up with me. Your son would be proud. Just a shame you didn't turn up in time to save him. So, which again pushes Goku's anger even further, but inadvertently causes yet another change too. As suddenly a smirk comes to Goku's face as he responds, "Ha! Amazing. Looks like the more you anger me, the stronger I get too. This must be what Beerus meant by increasing my lust for battle." What? Which Cell, with his super hearing gained from Piccolo's cells, responds, "Lust for power? What nonsense are you spouting this time? Don't tell me you still think you have a chance in hell of beating me. Because if you do, Son Goku, allow me to show you, you aren't the only one with a secret. Because I've barely been trying!" As immediately Cell shockingly showcases just how far his strength truly goes, as visibly his Kamehameha wave begins to overtake and swallow whole Goku's own. Damn it! He still had all that in the tank! Leaving Goku panicked even in his Ultra Ego form as he finally lets out, "Looks like I was right about Cell after all. He's just too strong. I can't win this one-on-one. Not unless..." But suddenly, out of the same building doors Goku had come out of earlier, a figure shoots out with speed. "Think fast, Cell! What? awaken! And to our surprise and the absolute shock of Cell, suddenly a second Ultra Ego Goku appears right in front of the android, his palm flat and face directly at the bio figure, about to yell the one word that could only mean the end of Cell. What sorcery is this? There are two of these freaks now? What has Son Goku done? Leaving Ultra Cell for the first time in the entire fight, now feeling somewhat fearful, unable to figure out what is even going on now as two threats attack him at once. Haha, don't look so down, Cell. But Goku, now loving the change in atmosphere, begins to smile and in typical fashion explains, I'm surprised you can't figure out what I did. You must have forgot about my good friend Tien. He taught me this little trick. He calls it the multiform technique. Splits a perfect copy of myself with a portion of my energy. And what's great is, they can use all of my techniques too. But before Ultra Cell even has a second to process what Goku had just said, his copy, still in the air and point blank to Cell, finally screams the fatal call of the destroyers. And just as expected, with Cell preoccupied and wasting so much of his energy and resources in fighting the Kamehameha battle with the original Goku, his body, naturally but more slowly than usual, begins to erase to nothing. This is ridiculous! No! No! What can I do? If I let this Hakai get me, I'll be erased forever! If I let this Kamehameha hit me, I'll be damaged severely. But I will survive. In fact, I'll regenerate and come back even stronger! Thank you, Piccolo! Hakai! And in a sudden twist, Cell turns his attention and power straight to the second Goku, yelling out his own Hakai, which not only stops his own erasure, but instantly begins disintegrating Goku's clone too. But God of Destruction Goku, being no fool, planned this entire time, and spotting his time to shine, thinks, this is it! This is my chance! And while mid-beam begins shouting out, Kamehamehakai! Blasting unbelievably the very first Kamehamehakai in Dragon Ball history, blasting forth with all his might, with even the spirit of Teen Gohan from the original timeline symbolically aiding in its power, as if the two Saiyans know this is the only way to make things right in this alternate universe. Goku! And of course, with this newly Hakai-powered Kamehameha shot at the unsuspecting android, finally, it begins to erase Cell with speed. His whole body becoming engulfed in the sheer power and size of the beam, until eventually, nothing but particulate matter remains, defeated finally by the one technique that was not in Cell's database. And in the aftermath, Goku, having given absolutely everything he had inside him, instantly reverts back to base by force, his body and mind exhausted beyond belief. As finally, he lets his arms and head go down, but with a truly happy smile, he whispers with the last bit of his energy, I did it. Daddy really did it, Gohan. Before then falling flat on his face unconscious on the surface of the planet that he once more protected from utter destruction. But meanwhile, somewhere else entirely, the scene zooms out to reveal Goku is being watched in a crystal orb, and soon it's revealed to be by none other than Whis, who had been watching the entire battle go down, as he peers at the orb and comments, "Well, Lord Beerus, that was far more entertaining than I think even you predicted. But it does seem our future god of destruction may have finally come of age with that display." To which a positively menacing looking Beerus, listening in, responds back, "Yes, it seems like finally Son Goku is ready for me. Time to fight this so-called Super Saiyan God." But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag Goku v Beerus in the comments down below and let me know how you think the future of the God Goku story should go. Or just go onto my Patreon right now, where from just $3 you can find out right now for yourself, as not only do you get early access to this manga, but also instantly gain access to over 250 plus other DB fan mangas too. Yes, 250. It's the deal of the century.